Yesterday at an event, I asked a question to people and only one person replied. But the answer was great. It was heartfelt, it was real, and I wanted to talk about their question. So I asked, what topics should I blog about? I said, I want to create content that impacts people. Like actually touches people's lives, that gets them to change their behavior. I want to create touching content. And to do that, I said, I need to speak to individuals. I need to know their story. I need to know what's going on. And so one woman said, you know what? I need just assertiveness. Assertiveness would be the topic that would be best for me. And so I wanted to talk about assertiveness again. There's another blog post that's linked below about the 4 steps that I've taken to become more assertive. But that previous blog post was written from my perspective. And I wanted to speak from what I imagine to be her perspective. So this woman, lovely woman, she's coming from an older generation, and our perceptions between me and her of assertiveness might be much different. I'm a younger generation, I'm a white male, right? I have all these privileges. I want to address that right away. And she's not white, older generation, and her viewpoint on assertiveness might be much different. But I'm gonna venture out on a limb and guess her perspective based on a few clues she gave off when she first brought up the topic. So when she first said assertiveness was a topic she needed help with, you know, that's the verbal communication. That's the 7% communication, the words, I need help with assertiveness. The nonverbal communication I saw, and I might be wrong, was a much different story. I heard exasperation. I heard the 30 years of being in the tech industry as an older generation female who was probably just in a male-centric environment. I saw decades of being overlooked and overheard and not respected because she's a woman. So her perspective on assertiveness, you know what she said? I need help with assertiveness. It was like, it was deep. It was deep. It was almost like, I don't know where to even start. I don't even know where to start. It's like someone who's, you know, just like, I want to be better. I want to improve. I want this problem to go away. This problem is just so vast and complicated, and I have all this history with it, and it's painful, and it brings up, you know, patterns. I just want to be more assertive and have all that shit go away. So I know I'm reading into it, but I want to talk about the most important thing you can do if you want to become more assertive. And so I want this woman to actually take steps. I mean, not just moan or complain about the job situation or, you know, how her history and the unfair circumstances. My intention in this video is to hopefully provide the impetus for this woman to act and become more assertive. And to do that, I'm going to give 2 pieces of advice, 3 pieces from my own experience. One, figure out what it actually means to be assertive for you. Does assertive mean saying no to people? Does it mean saying yes to people? Does it mean applying for jobs? What does assertive actually mean to you? Can you define it? If someone were to ask you what it meant to be assertive, how would you answer them? And most importantly, here's the most important question. How would you know if you had been assertive? If you did X, Y, and Z, what would enable you to say you had been assertive? So I want you, if you're trying to out there to become more assertive, notice what is actually going to make you assertive. Is it talking louder? Is it, you know, being proactive? Write down what qualifies as success, assertiveness, success. And then from there, you need to actually start changing your behavior. There's no other way around it. You need to start taking baby steps. So for me, when I tried to become more confident, I started off with this mindset that it's going to take me a long time to become more confident. It's going to take me a long time to change some of my underlying beliefs. It's going to take me a long time to do this. But I'm going to be patient. I'm going to change my behavior, and it'll take me a long time. But you know what I'm first going to do? I'm first going to start talking to more people. So I started talking to more people. And I started researching and reading and listening to podcasts. So if you're trying to become more assertive, first define assertiveness, and then think of some small ways you can start to practice being assertive. You can start saying no to people. That's a big one for a lot of people, especially if you like helping people, or if you tend to be a healer, or even if you're very obedient. If you're very, you try to please others. Maybe you've been in a role where you've always had someone above you telling you what to do. Your default might be to just please other people. So if you can start practicing saying no to other people, not in a mean way, just, you say, hey, I'm going to pass. Here's why. I'm busy. I got X, Y, and Z. I wish you the best. But practice saying no to people in a polite way, valuing your time, right? And that's the third point that I want to bring up. If you don't have a vision or a purpose, if you don't have something that you're working for, you're going to have a very hard time coming up with the inner strength necessary to actually be assertive. Like, you can't fake true assertiveness. Assertiveness is, I'm important. I got shit to do. I got important shit to do. Stuff that's meaningful to me. And this is in my way. So I don't have the time or the patience to deal with this. I gotta go through it. So those are your 3 ways to start thinking differently about assertiveness from what I would recommend. First, if it's really big, break it down. Like, actually sit down. If you want to be more assertive, actually think about what that means to you. How would you know you've been assertive? Start changing your behavior. Start saying no to people in polite ways. Valuing your time. Practice valuing your time. Because if you don't have a value, if you don't value your time, or if you don't have a goal or a purpose you're working towards, the assertiveness will always be fake. So there you go. Enjoy. And there's another blog post below. So check that out and subscribe to the email list. Share this content if you found it valuable, and stay in touch. Keep telling me what you want me to talk about. I'd love your comments as well. Thank you.